When I left the lake, Blink and Cherry Pit were at the picnic table, just standing there. I wondered what they were waiting for. I said I'd see them up the trail, but I never did. Blink was talking about quitting because of the snow up north. Why not just quit now, he asked yesterday. I wondered if maybe they just want to be rid of me, and maybe planned to let me get ahead while they waited for the restaurant or coffee. Maybe they took a shortcut and road walked to the bridge and are way ahead of me, and that's how they ditched me. Maybe they'll come walking by in an hour, who knows? I'm 58 years old, and I will never believe anyone wants to be around me. It's hard to admit, but these are the kinds of things that I think about when I'm out here all by myself. There's a big bird up there. It was crying. So many flies. So I reached this junction where there's water, but there's nowhere to camp, and it doesn't look like there'll be anywhere to camp for a really long time. And I saw some little spaces about 1/10 of a mile back, so I'm gonna walk southbound for some bonus miles, but at least I'll have a place to stay. Hopefully it'll be sheltered over there too. My tiny campsite in the manzanita was very comfortable. I was protected well from wind, and it was pretty warm. I could see the red glow of sunrise, so I hurried to get out of bed and take pictures of the sky and Roosevelt Lake. The night's rest made it much easier for me to see the trail. I couldn't see it at the junction yesterday in my tiredness. I continued on the traverse around the Four Peaks mountain to the other side of the peaks. The trail here was brushy and kind of bad. The other side of the peaks had snow. So I wonder if that large flat plain way off in the horizon, if that's the Mogollon Rim. Getting close. The road was long and boring. It climbed and descended small bits of elevation over and over. There were many little seeps running across the road, some just as good as Pigeon Spring. I hadn't needed to carry full bottles with me. The whole area around the road had been burned, so there was no shade. Finally, at Little Pine Flat, there were some pines to offer shade, so I stopped for a rest. I sat there just a few minutes when 3 horseback riders arrived. They sat on their horses in front of me while their leader peppered me with questions. When he asked where I was from, he declared, "Arizona isn't like California, isn't it?" I had been thinking this whole Four Peaks section could have easily been the Los Padres. It had reminded me a lot of the Little Mutah Trail. I tried to get information about the snow on the rim. He said it was melting fast and at a 15-mile-per-day pace. I shouldn't need to worry about it much. There were lots of days before I'd get there. It would probably mostly be gone. Since there was that whole California isn't like this vibe with the man, I couldn't tell if he was trying to poke fun at me and see my reaction, or if he was being truthful. I hoped he was right, and I took encouragement from his words. Went down to check out the Boulder Pool. I think that's a pool. Looks like there's some more down there. I felt like I was hiking the Sisquoc. The further I went, the more the trail improved, and it became very cruisy. On and on I labored in the sun in this burned and brushy canyon. Finally a tree appeared, and there was a man who looked like he had decided this would be his camp. He said he was section hiking. I continued on, and soon other trees appeared. They were all small junipers. The grass was green and speckled with gold fields. The cliffs were quite beautiful. I reached my goal of Sycamore Creek at about 4. The creek ford was not difficult. Far out comments from a few weeks ago said it was very deep. I walked across in my bare feet, and it was shin deep. The water felt nice. I decided to hike on to the highway. Tomorrow would be Easter. It might be easier to get something to eat today. The rest of the miles to the highway were lush and green. There were cottonwoods leafing out along the creek and oaks on the other side. Well, I'm totally lost. I've gone way out of my way trying to figure out how to get up to the highway. So I found this little trail and I'm heading back. And hopefully this will lead me to a trailhead that's relatively easy to hitch from. We'll see. Well, I'm in Payson. I'm almost at the halfway point on the Arizona Trail. This trail is like the PCT, like this year anyway. Just the feeling of it, the beauty, everything about it. I'm just loving every minute of this trail. I love it. Every day, I just feel great and happy. Sometimes the trail kind of sucks, but I'm always happy to be here. This is probably the best hike I've ever done.